Hello and welcome to chapter 15 of the Accounting Insight tutorial series. In this chapter we conclude what we've been learning and give you pointers of where to go from here and other things that you can learn to improve your accounting knowledge. In this book we've kept things relatively simple. However, you'd find sales, purchases and bank transactions comprise the majority of transactions of a business, probably over 90%. Of the volume of a business, so you will understand now how to account for those. The remaining percentage of transactions might be more complex and will need the advice of an accountant. Coming to software, I may do a tutorial on software use using the example in this, but there's various accounting software out there like Sage, QuickBooks, Xero that you can use. And you can practice using that software with the work pack in this book, just to help you understand further accounting and also how to use that particular software. You'll find in software, say for example, when you're matching the sales receipts from the customers, when you're entering them in the bank, you're matching them to the customer's account and updating the customer's account at the same time. In our book, we've done that in two separate parts just to help you understand what's going on. And the same applies to when you're paying purchase invoices of your suppliers in accounting software. You enter your bank transaction and update your supplier account at the same time. Software can allow you to enter transactions on a line-by-line basis, like the way we've done on the Excel sheets here, and that can help you deal with more transactions at a faster pace. The main advantage of using accounting software is that you enter accounting transactions in a structured database format, and that will allow you to produce reports instantly and quickly from that database. The various reports you can produce are VAT reports, profit and loss reports, customer aging reports, supplier aging reports, balance sheet reports, P&L, trial balance. So many reports you can produce instantly. Obviously, if you haven't entered the data incorrectly, your reports will be wrong, but you have journal entries that you can use as you review the reports and feel that something is not right. You can enter journal entry to adjust your account so that it is accurate. When it comes to complex transactions and complex businesses, please seek the advice of a financial accountant or an accountant to help you setting up your accounting system. Now that you've done like the first practice of this book, it's worth practicing at least 2 or 3 times what you learned in this book, just to consolidate your knowledge. It really helps you bring the accounting knowledge clear, make it clearer for you. I'll just give you a simple example of so let's say we look at the profit and loss we produced. If I can get it. Here's a profit and loss. Let's click on it. Here's a profit and loss. And if we look at, say, the sales figure there, you can see where it comes from. So if you go to your sales listing, you can see clearly your sales figure 23,000 in your profit and loss there. It's just this whole book and example helps you pull together the puzzle of accounting really easily. There's less confusion, because when you start working for business, all businesses are different, and you're not only learning what that business is doing and how it operates, you're also trying to learn accounting. But doing this book, you understand everything in the example business, and your mind can focus on seeing how accounting comes together. So let's look at purchase invoices. So you can see purchase invoices there. goods purchases, 13,000. You can see clearly what it's made of. Rent, you can see clearly. Yeah. So practice using this book so that you improve your accounting knowledge. And obviously, now you've got a skill at entering transactions. If you practice software like Sage or QuickBooks, you can actually earn some money from doing accounting for a small business or accounting firm. So this is a skill worth having, not only for your own business, but also just to trade off. Right, so that is the conclusion. I'm just quickly going to show you some other aspects of the book. I'll show you first of all using what we call control accounts. So control accounts. Yeah. So a control account is basically a summary account of a ledger that has got lots and lots of transactions. So in this case, we've got the bank control account. Now this is summarizing everything in our bank. Excuse me. So this control account is summarizing everything in our bank account summary. So if we look at, say, bank receipts, so here you can see 23,610 bank receipts. It's summarizing all these transactions, just one line there. And bank payments, 15,834. It's summarizing that there. 15,834.99. Yeah. So this gives you like a high level view of what's going on in the detailed records here. So it's the control accounts are really useful. You've got your debit and your credit and your balance, and you can see your balance there agrees to what we had in our summary. So it's similar to this actually, your bank account summary. You can see some referencing here. So this schedule is called D1. It goes to D, and this is D1.1. I'll come to that in a minute. But another type of control account is your sales ledger control account. So this also summarizes the sales ledger. So I'll show you what a detailed sales ledger looks like. So this is our detailed sales ledger, and you can see it has each customer with their own account, recording sales and recording checks received and balances carried forward. You can see all the customers there. It's a lot of detail to hold. When you're reviewing accounts, you don't really want to be seeing all this, so you'd create a sales ledger control account. In this case, this will just summarize all the sales invoices received, the payments received, sales invoices raised, the payments received, and the credit notes issued, and it will total the balance there. And you can, if you remember, that is similar to what we had in our detailed listing of the sales ledger. Quickly go there. Just bear with me. So if we go to, yeah, you can see. So we got our 28,200 sales. It looks different. Oh yeah, because we're totaling these before the credit note, 28,200 there, and then the credit note. Yeah, so that is, the credit note gets totaled on this side, so yeah. And then you get the payments, 23,500, and you can see them there, 23,500, and the balance left is 3,525. So rather than giving this to your boss to review, you give them your sales ledger control, so they've got a nice high level view of what's going on in the sales ledger control account. In accounting software, because sales ledgers have lots and lots of transactions, accounting software tends to have a separate part of the database for sales ledger and a separate one for purchase ledger. And then the nominal ledger is where everything is kept together. So you'll find in the nominal ledger, you'll have a summary of the sales ledger. And I'll quickly show you that. So if we go to our nominal ledger here, let's try to find it. Yeah, this is our nominal ledger in the double entry system. And you can see this is the summary control account in the nominal ledger. So it's basically got the same, but it's just essential data from the sales ledger. So you'd have that there. And you'd also have your purchase ledger, which a control account in the nominal. So you just have the summary data in there. The reason they kept the sales ledger and the purchase ledger separate is in computer software is one, because of memory storage, but also it's easier to produce quick reports from a summarized ledger like the nominal ledger rather than running everything, a report from all the data in your purchase ledger, which I showed you down. Yeah, I'll show you the purchase ledger. So this is the purchase ledger. It has all your suppliers in there, lots of data. It takes a bit of time to run the report of that. But yeah, so that is control accounts and how they're used. In this case, they're using it in the accounting software and also using it in working paper file referencing, which I'm going to come to next. So working paper file referencing is another appendix I got in the book here. I'll just open the chapter so that you can see. Working paper file referencing, and I just go to the next page there. So if you're working for a firm of accountants, you go to the client, you look at the accounts and you produce a summary of what you see in the accounts. And first thing, let's say you're producing the summary of what's happening in the bank and cash, you produce what they call a lead schedule for your bank and cash. In this case, for this company limited, we would have produced something similar to this, where we would have for the year we're working on there and the prior year, obviously 0 for the prior year, and the current year, which is 3,000. We got the current account, Smithman Bank, and you got a reference to where you got the figure from, 7775. You recognize that figure. Say there's a deposit account, there's nothing in there, and petty account, there's nothing in there. So the total bank and cash for this business, 7,775.01. Now this clearly is a nice summary that you can submit to your supervisor or your boss. So if we go, the boss won't say, okay, I want to see what's in that D1, so they'll come here. So this will be your, this will be your next supporting schedule, D1. You can see the label there, and this would be like your control account. So in the previous section, I talked about control accounts. You can see the total receipts there, 23,610 total payments, and yeah, okay, you'll be happy. Yeah, your control account agrees with your lead schedule. And then you got here another reference to some other supporting work, maybe D1.1, and here we got D1.1. Here we got the bank reconciliation. So here you reconcile your account's bank balance to your bank statement, or you reconcile your bank statement to your account balance. So this is like a third-party proof that your bank account is correct. So all this gives verification that your accounts are correct, and this is the way accountants would produce a working paper file for the supervisors and the managers and the partners to review before seeing the client. So a nice quick summary of what's going on. With software nowadays, all this can be produced with the referencing by the software using links. So yeah, that is your working paper file referencing. The next thing you can learn about when you get the book is ratios. So I'll just quickly go to ratios. Ratios there. So let me open it in this copy as well. Ratios. Excuse me. I can review ratios. Right. Ratios. Yeah. So this is another thing you can do to improve your accounting knowledge. So for example, the first one is gross profit percentage. We work it out. So it's gross profit percentage divided by sales. So it's how much gross profit you're making on your sales. In this case, it's 50%. So you're making a profit of 50%. You got net profit percentage, net profit after tax divided by sales. In our case, it's 27.36%. So these are things, ratios you can produce. You can compare two businesses, see what their net profit percentage is. And using the example in our book, you know all the details of what's happened in the example. You can understand what this ratio is trying to tell you. So this is something else you can do to improve your accounting knowledge. The other thing, I mentioned it in one of the chapters in the double entry, is practicing the double entry accounting. So this is the last thing I'll just mention again. I know I've mentioned it before, but I'll mention it here. So we've got our double entry ledgers. So I've done the worked example there, but I've got in the exercise sheets a blank set for you to look at, and you can practice with this and compare your answers to that, and this will improve your knowledge of accounting and double entry. So these are all the basics for bookkeeping, accounting, and from here on you can go and learn more advanced accounting and have a successful career in accounting, or understand your business accounts a lot better. So it's a life skill that's worth knowing. You can trade with it and all sorts. So that is really the end of this tutorial series of Accounting Insight. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you'll have gained some benefit from these lessons, these YouTube lessons. And if you do, please like and share the videos that we've produced. If you're feeling good enough, you can go to the website and actually buy the book, which would be nice. That's a contribution for the effort. If you don't have the money, that's fine. But I'm happy that you've learned something from these tutorials. And without much else to say, I'll just wish you good luck, and hope to see you maybe on another tutorial soon. Thank you and goodbye.